Hi, I'm Lisa Sargese, author of Diary of a Fat Girl, How I Overcame Binge Eating Disorder and Learned to Love Myself After Weight Loss Surgery. I also made a CD for you, Relaxation with Lisa. They're both available on Amazon. Just don't think that because my hair is wet that it's perspiration. It's not. I just take a shower before I go to the gym, and so then I marinate in my perfume and I smell delightful afterwards. I don't work up a huge sweat. That's not where I'm at right now. I did my 10 minutes on the bike. I did more machines than I was in the mood to do, which felt good. It's like, I don't want to leave here yet. I didn't feel like leaving the gym because then I have work to do, and shopping and lifting and doing, and gym time can be you time. No phone, no nothing. Just you and the gym. Which is nice. You and your body, you and your thoughts. Think beautiful thoughts. So what is our self-concept? A lot of people fall off the wagon of whatever they're trying to do because their self-concept doesn't match up with what they're doing. So people who drop out of school, I'm not somebody who completes things. I'm not good enough to have an education. I'm just not good at studying. I don't know. I'm not the kind of person who. Now, those could be really dangerous or really helpful words. I'm just not the kind of person who. So what kind of person are you then? And if the self-concept is, well, I always quit whatever I start. I've never stuck with anything. And you know, my family, my parents, I'm not going to take that away from you. You get to feel how you feel about your upbringing. And if your parents were mentally ill, emotionally immature, alcoholics, addicts, absent, whatever, you get to feel how you feel about it. But also know that they help to create the self-concept of who you are, and that might not be the truth. It was just conditioning based on like a legacy of dysfunction. And you could break that. You don't have to stick with that. So when we start a new habit, we also have to start a new habit of mind of how we think about ourselves. That's tougher than getting to the gym every day. I'm telling you right now. Forcing yourself to do a thing, for some people it's still a challenge, but it's a lot easier than believing you're the kind of person who can. This is some serious stuff I'm talking about. Who do we think we are? And when we try to change, we'll have plenty of people in our lives who will remind us of our past failures, or how we didn't stick with something before, or how they failed, or they'll start doing things to sabotage your getting to the place you're trying to go, whether it's school, or your yoga class, or your gym, or for your book club, or whatever new thing you've taken on. The person who feels threatened by your getting better, oh, what if they leave me? Or, oh, what if they expect me to do new, exciting things? They're going to try to pull you back down. So they'll remind you of your old self. And let me tell you, you can create a new self at any moment, at any time, at any given moment. You could just, I'm going to change, and this is how I'm going to be, and I'm going to think about myself this way now. You can. Do we? For some, change is super easy. They just, they flip a switch, and they're just done with whatever. That's it. I'm done with this. I'm just going to do this from now on, and this is who I am. Some people are good at that. Some people need a lot of coaxing and coddling and support and daily self-talk and all kinds of interventions to help us to believe that we are indeed the person who can sustain the new way of being, the new habit, the new eating, the new whatever. I have a history of being non-physical. I think, how old was I? 8 years old? And I'm playing with my little nephew, Tony. He's 5 years younger than I. Oh, wait, no. I would have had to have been older. All right, let's say I'm 10, 11. And he's 5 years younger. And he was an energetic kid. He was a little boy. And I would always hope, like, oh, God, I hope he doesn't want to play a running around game. I hope we could just sit here and we used to play squashies. We had these little dolls, these little furry dolls. Remember, they like a puffball with eyes and antenna on them? They still sell them. You see them around. They're not called squashies. We called them that. And we would play, and we'd set up little towns and villages, and we had the Squashington Monument. Yes, we were adorable. But I always preferred those kind of pretend make-believe games that involved, kind of reclining and lying down. And it was always a very mopey, draggy, a non-physical kid. I got out of breath real easy. I hated gym. I'd get out of breath walking up and down the hill to school, and I came home for lunch, so it's not like I wasn't walking a lot. I walked a lot. Now, what are the reasons? Is it because my mother didn't permit me to move in the house? Because the sound of my walking would freak her out and she'd yell? My father too? I walked on tiptoes almost all my life. And then when I moved out, my roommate was like, "Why do you walk on your toes like that? That's weird." I'm like, "I'm walking on my toes?" The habit stayed with me. It could be that. It could be something physical. I had a lot of fevers, high fevers as a real little kid. I was in the hospital too. My cardiologist says I have the heart murmur because I had the high fevers. Could it be that? Is it really physical? Is it mental? I don't know. I'm not sure. I have to analyze it to death. But when I feel draggy and I don't want to come to the gym, today was like one of the first days I'm like, I don't feel it. It's 97 degrees here in New Jersey. It's miserable out. I know the gym is air conditioned, and so is my car, and so is my apartment. I'm comfortable, but who the hell wants to walk outside in 100-degree heat? It's ridiculous. Plus, I'm just tired. I need rest. I have to rest over the summer so I have the energy to do all the teaching I have to do. I have to develop a course, my compassion course I'm teaching at the Montclair Library, not at the university, the adult school. I need to rest so that I can do the things I do. But I don't want to quit. So I said, no, I kept my word. I'm going to keep my word. I'm going to come here. But it's making me think, okay, what's the next move? It's been doing me good to move every day. I have an increased range of motion. I do feel that I'm more flexible than sore. I'm a little sore, but more flexible than sore. So I feel what I'm doing is right and worth it. I would like to do something every day. Will it be coming to the gym? Well, we'll rethink that. Thursday's day 30, so we'll rethink that on Thursday. We'll see. But I know moving is good for me. And I know it's kind of against the nature that I've been taught that I have, the nature that I've felt in my body since I was a little girl. How hard do I want to fight that to create some new thing, some new way of being where I believe I can move with ease and joy and maybe even be a little athletic. The book I'm working on, From Wheelchair to Warrior, about how I spent 2 years in a wheelchair, not knowing what was wrong with my knees. I did actually get on the mats after that, and I earned a yellow belt in Tong Sudo. And yes, I did cardio. And yes, at my test, there was a nurse in the audience, because I was testing with little kids. And she was worried. Is she okay? I was severely anemic at the time and didn't know it, but I'm so freaking tough. Like, I just pushed past it. But I must have looked like not good to somebody in the medical profession. Like, she doesn't look right. And I figured, oh, it's just because I'm fat and I was out of breath. You're overreacting. No, later on I found out I was severely anemic. And when you're severely anemic, you're oxygen deprived. You don't look good. And even if you're tan, you look pale, that kind of stuff. But I did it. I ran with little kids. And I got punched and kicked. And I punched and kicked. I got thrown to the ground very gingerly. I had a big, hefty guy, Mr. Perez, who helped me learn how to fall. You have to learn how to fall, and you have to be able to get up off the ground. It's easy. It's easier to do it on the mats than it is at home on carpet. Let me tell you something. But I did it. It'll be a fun story to read, I hope. So I can do what I set my mind to do. I can. But my self-concept never really changed. I'm still the mopey, kind of non-physical intellectual in my head. So how hard do I want to work on changing that? I don't know. do I just use my superpowers for good? We'll see. So today's day, what? If Thursday's 30, and Wednesday's 29, Tuesday's 28, today's 27. 27 days. Thanks for sticking with me. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Check out the book. If you like journeys up from all kinds of medical abuse and issues. I did lose the 140 pounds. It was about the first year after my weight loss surgery. I do talk about eating disorders and how they formed in my mother. And if you can identify with that, find hope in it, and hopefully go for your best health because of it, that makes me happy. See you tomorrow for day 28.